Edgar Cayce was known as a prophet for his many prophecies, but in fact, among the nearly 14,000 readings he had made in his lifetime, only a small percentage were about future predictions. However, they covered various issues that people were interested in. Most notably, he accurately prophesied the outbreak of two world wars, the US economic crisis in 1929, India's independence, and the establishment of Israel 15 years in advance. He predicted the chaos caused by race issues in the US and the deaths of two US presidents, Roosevelt and Kennedy, during their terms. People set up the Cayce Foundation to calculate the accuracy of his various prophecies, and surprisingly, the results showed a very high level of accuracy. In his prediction on January the 24th, 1925, Cayce said that China would be in a critical period in 1931, with the occurrence of bloodshed disasters in Manchuria. He accurately predicted the Japanese invasion of China that took place 6 years later. Long before the start of World War II, Cayce had accurately predicted the rise of Germany, the formation of the fascist alliance, the timing of the war's end, and the direction of post-war Soviet Union. He predicted that Russia, Soviet Union, would abandon communism and become a free nation. No matter how many readings he had made, Cayce never thought he had any supernatural abilities. He said, "I don't believe that anyone lacks these abilities. The fact is that our potential is far greater than what we can imagine, but you must let go of attachments to personal interests to have such abilities." Cayce's work and experiences can be seen as broadening the horizons of Westerners. Throughout his life, he was combining the Bible with his experiences of readings based on his faith in God. His realization had gone beyond the common understanding of Christianity, yet without any contradiction, and even shared something in common with traditional Eastern beliefs. Nowadays, leading Western scientists are studying the existence of reincarnation, and the reason behind it is figures like Cayce. Scientists highly respect facts, and Westerners are extensively researching the issue of reincarnated human beings. In the near future, scientists will announce to the world that humans have souls after death and can be reincarnated. Cayce's readings provided many theories and models for the development of humanity and spirituality. For example, the 7 spiritual centers in the human body, the 3 levels of consciousness, subconsciousness, and superconsciousness, and the 3-dimensional experiences in the physical world, time, space, and patience. However, before delving into a complete understanding of Cayce's concepts, we need to clarify several fundamental cornerstones in Cayce's philosophy. That is, Cayce's worldview. Through his readings, he gradually developed his understanding of Christianity and his worldview. Number 1. All things are interconnected, being one in nature. The concept of oneness, that all things are part of a unified whole, is the foundation of Cayce's readings. In one of his readings, he even suggested those interested in studying spiritual laws to first spend 6 months understanding the oneness principle. According to Cayce, behind the various appearances of things, there is oneness that transcends the differences between light and dark, good and bad, and internal and external. At a certain level of consciousness, all things reach unity, and based on this, Cayce's readings delved deeper. Cayce believed that after experiencing the oneness behind various appearances, our challenge is to return to the world, face our daily lives, and apply the meaning of oneness in our words, actions, and thoughts. This is the foundation of his philosophy and the highest insight formed by himself, leading to the following thought. Number 2. Life is purposeful. Cayce's readings told us that life has a central purpose. As part of the creative energy, we need to bring spiritual life into the physical world, to bring the infinite into the finite. Spiritualization is not simply about breaking free from the entanglements of the physical world, but injecting spirituality into it. What does this mean? Every life comes into the world with a purpose. For a spiritual life to enter the physical world, it must have a physical carrier, a body. This is what is meant by from the infinite to the finite. As for each individual, everyone has their own life mission, also known as soul purpose. Especially deep in our subconscious, there are things we may not be necessarily aware of. The talents, skills, and gifts each person is born with contribute their uniqueness to the world. This uniqueness not only enhances one's spiritual awakening, but also provides opportunities and help to others. In Cayce's life readings, he often helped individuals discover their life missions by providing purposes for their personal lives. Many people, especially those without faith, haven't discovered their life missions yet. Without faith, life is meaningless, like a living corpse. They completely forget their life missions, like animals whose task is probably just to reproduce and maintain the biological chain. If one just lives for the sake of living, the meaning of their life is the lowest. They even forget their sole purpose. This kind of life is almost meaningless. Through his readings, Cayce gradually realized these insights, leading to another meaning. Number 3. The journey of life is a joyful adventure. Life should be about exploring truth from the depths of the soul. In other words, he believed that everyone born in this world should do this. He named the holistic therapy hospital based on his readings the Cayce Hospital of Research and Enlightenment. Based on the same concept, Cayce and his supporters established the Association for Research and Enlightenment. The readings repeatedly emphasized that we can only grow by applying the thoughts into our own life. Mere words won't convince others. His readings often highlighted that one should believe a reading only after finding it useful through one's own study and practice. To those who want to jump straight to wisdom and enlightenment without going through arduous practice, Cayce in Hypnosis commented, "Putting the cart before the horse won't work. The horse should be in front of the cart." He was emphasizing that learning and exploring the truth needs practice. To believe something, we need to put it into practice. We should align with reality and truth should stand tests and verification. Merely saying something is not enough to make others believe. Number 4. Rich in compassion, free from competition. Nothing can lead us astray from oneness and soul purpose faster than competition. In this sense, competition doesn't refer to the scores in sports games. Rather, it is the mentality of comparing oneself with others and trying to surpass them. This mentality, which numbs spiritual growth, is the opposite of compassion. As for compassion, Cayce explained as follows. Compassion is not condescending mercy, but a state of mind to see everyone as equal. Compassion is sharing the same feelings with others and having a sense of responsibility for the arising of the situation. Compassion is also a mindset of serving others. It is not merely a feeling that everyone is interconnected, but doing something helpful. Cayce said, "The path to the Lord is built by those you have helped." Alternatively, some may call it, "The path to heaven is built by those you have helped." Number 5. Take responsibility for yourself. Nobody can solve your problems for you. Of course, we can seek help, but fundamentally, each soul should be responsible for itself and must use its own free will to choose and elevate. This principle of self-responsibility is not only the foundation of Cayce's holistic therapy, but also the core of Cayce's spiritual development theory. Christ is the way and the role model. By following Christ, we can be saved. In Cayce's time, this kind of message was totally different from common understanding. Blaming others is the cause of our unhappiness, and blaming others is often our natural choice. In fact, one needs a high level of maturity to see how one has created one's own dilemma. The readings say, people are too accustomed to wasting time and energy blaming others, including parents, government, family members, colleagues, and strangers. The best way is to take responsibility for your own life and discover internal and external resources to solve problems. This is the value of suffering, to find the way back. In 1901, at the age of 24, Cayce did the first psychic reading for his throat ailment. However, it wasn't until 1923 that the concept of reincarnation was brought to the forefront through a reading for a printer of Ohio. Interestingly, upon careful examination of Cayce's readings, it was found that the concept of reincarnation had already been mentioned in a reading in 1911. However, at that time, Cayce and those around him knew nothing about reincarnation, so it went unnoticed. Since 1923, the readings expanded from physical readings to life readings. By 1945, Cayce had provided nearly 2,000 life readings, providing us with rich information and data to talk about the Eastern concept of reincarnation. Each of us undergoes a series of life experiences to achieve the development and perfection of the soul. Cayce's readings never provided any examples of reincarnation between humans and animals, which is different from the Buddhist view. According to the readings, the soul of a human is always reincarnated into human bodies. A basic concept we should acknowledge from the readings is that when we say each of us, it doesn't refer to our physical body, not even the soul of this body. Rather, it refers to our immortal spirituality, which is part of the creative energy. In order to accomplish the need and purpose of reaching unity with the creative energy, it uses the physical body to experience and learn in this three-dimensional space and time. As souls, we come here to use this body to recognize our inherent spirituality and perfect ourselves. According to the readings, each of us is not passively playing a role according to a script. In fact, we are actively engaging in each life journey, which is intertwined with karma, free will, destiny, and grace. The so-called karma is the law of cause and effect. Free will is our inherent spirituality. Destiny is the habitual seeds accumulated from past lives. And grace is the life guide from Christ sent by God to save us. Okay, that's all for today.